We're out here in front of City Hall again, just like we did in 2000 as we announced our candidacy back then. This is a place where the people's business is done. It's a place that we all respect. It's a cornerstone of good government. It's a place where we, those who get elected like me, must hold the promise of equal voice to everyone. And I'd like to think that that's what we've done here. I know this, someone mentioned I had 1,000 meetings last year, so I've tried to be accessible and available and inclusive as we tried to work as the mayor of the Winston-Salem. And someone's asked me what I'm most proud of as being mayor, and I would say this to you. It's the fact that we've kept this promise of inclusiveness and open government. Regardless of one's age, gender, race, political persuasion, the place in the city that you live, the religion, I know that my office as well as the offices in this city hall are open to all. I'm also very proud of the city councils that I've had the great pleasure to work with over the past 12 years. And unlike some other elected bodies, and we won't say who or what, but we have not gotten into that quagmire of partisan politics. We differ a little bit sometimes on how we might want to do things, but we work together for the goodness of all our citizens in there. I know everybody's working in the same direction because we're working to get the job done for our citizens. So what does that mean in the context of the last 4 years? And I hate to even kind of go through the litany of this because it sounds like we're bragging. But I think it was Lyndon Johnson, one of our good presidents, said, it's not bragging if you can do it. And so working together with this city council and with you, we've done quite a bit for our community. We've continued to add jobs to our city and our community, even in spite of the most severe economic recession that we've had in over 3 generations. And our community has seen more than our fair share of job losses through companies going out of business or jobs being moved offshore. Over the past 12 years, unfortunately, we've seen the loss of about 15,000 manufacturing and construction jobs. But here's the good news. At the same time, we've added back 17,000 jobs, new jobs, good jobs that are in the new sectors that we're trying to rebuild of healthcare, information technologies, biotech, education, and corporate management. Getting the job done means that we've continued to be successful in recruiting companies here like Caterpillar, like Herbalife, NS Aviation, and we've continued to support very deeply and hard the growth of this research park over here. Met with President Eric Thomason yesterday, and he tells me this is the fastest growing research park in America today. By next summer, we'll have over 3,000 people working over there. Getting the job done also means that we fought hard to keep the companies that we already have here. Unfortunately, because we are a vibrant, growing city, we have other cities who would like to have some of our companies come to their city. And so we've worked hard to keep companies like Inmar here, like Pepsi-Cola here, Triad Propulsion, as well as working hard to make sure that our 2 large, vibrant medical centers continue to grow. We haven't forgotten our small businesses because we realize that they are the backbone of our community. And we've continued to push our small business loan program. Working with our city council, we created a program called RUCA, Revitalizing Urban Commercial Areas, that allows us to go back in some of our historic commercial areas and get those revitalized. We used $2.8 million of the $13 million we got back from Dell to help support that program. Areas like Liberty Street, Walltown, Cherry Polo, Ogburn Station, the King Plaza area, and Sprague Street, just to name a few. And we've created a task force of business leaders, community leaders, developers to make sure that our rules and regulations are not such that they would impede the growth of our small businesses. It also means that we try to make good use of the assets we already have here, like Smith Reynolds Airport, to make sure it's more of an economic generator for the East Winston community. Up there, we built a business park, we built a spec building, we moved some of our public safety training facilities there, and NS Aviation, I just mentioned, has already created 200 jobs at that airport. And we've got great relationships with our community development corporations, from Atkins to Goler to Liberty Street. We're going to continue to do that. But we've also worked hard to solve neighborhood problems as well, supporting the availability of affordable housing, as well as making sure that our we're addressing crime in our neighborhoods going forward. And we're so pleased that we continue to see the downward trending of our crime rates throughout the city. It's improving transportation. We're so delighted that we finally got the Beltway back on track. And you know, we were dead last. We were 25 out of 25 in terms of rankings across the state. And working with our friend Ralph Womble and the DOT board, we're now back actually buying right away for that first segment, and construction will begin next year. We're so proud again that we've secured, yeah, amen to the Beltway. Also working with the Chamber and the DOT, we've been able to secure over $400 million of new projects that will begin in the next 2 years in our area that will speed up a lot of these crucial transportation projects, including the Martin Luther King work, which is one of our key growth corridors. We have great partnerships with our colleges and universities as we're continuing to support technology, job training, and research. And we haven't forgotten our environment as we've pushed hard on our Greenway program. And Councilmember Bessie's a strong proponent of that, as well as all of our council members. Our Rails to Trails project, which we're so excited about over in Research Park, will begin this year. It's already been mentioned, our childhood obesity prevention program, our very successful program to end chronic homelessness in our city. We're working to reduce our carbon emissions as well as expanding our recycling programs. There's so many initiatives that we've started that we've got to continue in order to make life better for all of our citizens and every one of our residents. So here we are in front of City Hall, and people have asked me, why the heck do you want to be mayor? Sometimes they don't say heck, but the answer is pretty simple. I love this city. From my first job as an administrative assistant to the city manager in a little office about the size of this banner right here, to the last 12 years that I've been honored to serve as your mayor. I love working for this community and for the residents here. So what about the next 4 years? Got some things to do, and I want to try to do. So if the voters see fit to rehire me for another 4-year term, I'll work hard. I'll work harder even than I did the first 12 years, if that's possible. We've made significant progress, as I mentioned, in rebuilding our economy, but it is a fragile rebuilding, so we can't let up. We've got to continue to push hard for those initiatives that we've mentioned and make sure that we are viewed as a city of innovation. Because in my judgment, successful cities of the future will be those cities that have a culture of innovation and rapid change, and we're moving in that direction. My priorities will be to continue creating jobs for all of our citizens, but making sure that we create pathways for all individuals who want a job, that we have a way that they can get those jobs if they're willing to work for it. We've got to continue to address the very unacceptable levels of poverty and hunger in our community, and we'll do that by making available more targeted job training and employment programs and supporting programs towards home ownership, because that's the best way for an individual to build wealth, is to actually own their home. And we're going to particularly push for more middle-income housing in our East Winston community, because that will help drive a lot of retail investment as well. In terms of transportation, I promise you that I'll use every resource, every relationship that I've built over the years to make sure that our key road and transportation projects will get built on time, and that our public transportation system will stay viable, and hopefully, Dan Bessie, that we can expand it to Sunday service. Finally, I'll work cooperatively with our many neighborhood associations to address blighted areas and to assure that crime is dealt with effectively and quickly. Well, here's what I know. That the health and vitality of Winston-Salem will not be measured by the quality of life of just a few neighborhoods. No. It's going to be measured by the fact that every neighborhood and every corner of our city will see revitalization and progress. We all need a safe place to live. We all need the opportunity for good employment. And we need an environment that nurtures health and not diminishes it. And we'll take a coordinated effort, clearly, working together, all segments of our community coming together. And we'll take leadership of someone who is experienced in not only all these areas, but also has a track record of bringing our community together. At this time, at this place, at this point in our history, the mayor of Winston-Salem does not need to be someone who is inexperienced. I feel that I've demonstrated success here with this community, working cooperatively with you and with our city council, and that with your help, we can continue to push Winston-Salem on a very positive path of growth. So that's the reason today we're announcing our candidacy. We've got more work to do, and we're going to make it happen here in Winston-Salem. Just make sure that we have the jobs for our young people. We have jobs for those individuals who are displaced that need a new job. And we will make sure that our quality of life remains strong so that we can keep those individuals here. I thank you for coming today. I'm asking you for your support. I need your energy. And I ask that you would join me in keeping the momentum going that we established 12 years ago and continue to push forward over the past 12 years. Let's not let our community slip back to the troubled times we were in when we took office 12 years ago. I've never been more excited about the future of Winston-Salem. I hope you will join me and let's push it forward again. Thank you all for coming.
Thank you, lady.